Thanks for joining us at 11. I'm Jenny Runovich in tonight for Scott Swan. We start this evening with a dispute in Noblesville between a neighborhood HOA and the family of a paralyzed teen. It's over a ramp in front of their house. Our Alex Almanza talked with both sides tonight and shows us what's at stake.
Corbin Phillips was paralyzed in a trampoline accident last year. His family says an accessibility ramp is important for him to move in and out freely out of their new home. So when the family turned to the Morse Point HOA for approval of a new ramp, they say things got complicated. For Matthew and April Phillips, the last year has been a battle. First for their son Corbin's recovery after a trampoline accident left him paralyzed, and now for access to their own home.
We have submitted design reviews through our HOA, and it's kind of been a bit of a battle since about July 6th.
The family wants a ramp in front of their house, giving Corbin safe access to the yard and front door. Their contractor designed a plan, but the HOA said it was too large. The association suggested an alternate design, one the contractor flagged as unsafe.
It seems as though aesthetics of the outside of a home and what is perceived to be everyone else's opinion in the neighborhood or outside the neighborhood is far more important than our son's safe and equal access.
The HOA tells 13 News they haven't denied a ramp, only that a proposed deck is still under review.
I feel like if the tables were turned, like they would be like if they were in the chair and they couldn't get up into their house without help, like I feel like they would want to fight for access and what they feel comfortable and safe for their house.
Despite the dispute, Corbin says he's grateful for the support of friends and neighbors.
I feel like I've came a long way with our support system, so I'm thankful for everyone.
The Phillips say they've hired lawyers and will keep fighting, not just for their son, but for anyone else who faces the same struggle. The Morse Point HOA says that they are willing to do some sort of compromise, but the family says what's most important is making sure that Corbin can live freely and independently in their new home. In Noblesville, Alex Almanza, 13 News.
Alex, thank you. Tonight, Franklin Township school leaders are voicing support for a proposed Google data center. Now, initially they opposed the project, but now the superintendent says the city and Google are working as partners willing to listen and adapt. He acknowledges some community members are still concerned about the build, but ultimately it comes down to money. A statement from the superintendent says, in part, the agreement reached with the city of Indianapolis and Google ensures that fair property tax revenue flows to our schools. That means this project strengthens school funding, and those dollars benefit students and teachers. Now, for months, residents have rallied against this project, and at least 15 city-county councilors have also come out against it. If that number holds, it could sink the plans. Of course, we'll find out when the council votes in 1 week. A mall on the far east side of Indianapolis is in need of some retail therapy of its own. And finally, that may be happening. People living near Washington Square Mall have complained about its condition for years. And Marion County court documents say the health department found multiple violations. Take a look: a leaky roof, ceiling damage, inadequate air conditioning and heat, plus 2 outdoor violations for weeds, grass, and trash. Property manager Keith Lee Jr. says the owners, Durga Property Holdings, inherited problems when they bought the mall back in 2019. Lee says they're fixing the issues before a court date this week, but it's not clear when shoppers will see a change.
There is no time deadline. It's just to be able to stay into compliance with the health department and with the building department.
City County Councilor Michael Paul Hart says fixing the mall is one of the reasons he ran for office. He says he's tried but hasn't been able to talk to the property owners. He's now reaching out to possible developers about buying the mall. The current owners are due in court on Thursday. A former corrections officer at the Indiana Women's Prison was just sentenced to 11 years. He was found guilty of raping an inmate. Uzo Chukwu Chinwenzi was charged with rape and sexual misconduct. These crimes happened back in 2023 at the prison just 3 weeks before his final day of work. You know, it seems like it's getting easier for the bad guys to get a hold of our information. And now hackers are targeting SNAP. That's the government's food assistance program. We talked with two women who have to wait until next month to have their cards reloaded. Both say they got their funds at midnight on the 13th, but the next day at the store, they discovered the money was gone. Hundreds of dollars each, spent at multiple stores from Philadelphia to New Jersey. Well, now these women are out of luck. As of December 2024, FSSA does not replace stolen benefits.
And we've kind of, been struggling, so it's been hard. I have two kids that are special needs, so it was just, it was devastating because I know, like, how am I going to be able to feed my kids until the next month?
Now, we did reach out to the state, but we have not heard back about the magnitude of this problem. According to the FSSA website, locking your EBT card is now the only way to protect your benefits. It also recommends changing your PIN often.
Warm Monday night under clear skies, temperatures in the 60s and 70s right now. We still have 74 in Indianapolis, 71 Peru, 72 Lafayette, 70 in Bedford. We're down to 69 in Shelbyville and 64 degrees in Richmond. Early morning temperatures, upper 50s, low 60s. Sunrise is at 7:26. Weather won't slow you down for that morning drive. Sunshine tomorrow afternoon. Summer in September continues with highs in the upper 80s, close to 90. We do have air quality alerts for the southern part of the state.
Here's a quick look at other stories making headlines right now. Tonight, a man is under arrest for a 2024 deadly shooting. Police confirm they found the man during a traffic stop over the weekend. Investigators say 26-year-old Jose Hernandez was killed during a robbery. The man now in custody is the second suspect identified in this case. The Indiana Department of Correction will begin paying back millions of dollars owed to counties holding prisoners awaiting transfer to state facilities. This comes after months of delays. Marion County alone is expected to get more than $575,000. The Miami Correctional Facility might soon be getting some upgrades. It comes as the prison prepares to house undocumented immigrants detained by ICE. Our partners at the Capitol Chronicle report those upgrades amount to more than $18 million and include fencing enhancements and temporary housing structures. Heads up drivers in Hancock County, you need to be mindful of INDOT's safe zone enforcement. It started back up today in the work zone near Greenfield. If you're caught going more than 10 miles an hour over the speed limit, you'll get a warning. If it happens again, that's when the fines start. And take a look at these new pictures from Indy DPW showing some progress on the Henry Street Bridge project. Eventually, this bridge will cross the White River, connecting downtown with the city's west side. Work is expected to wrap up next year. Remember, you can always find the latest local stories anytime on our 13 News app. Tonight, people in central Indiana are rallying around two teenagers targeted by racial slurs in Brownsburg. Video of the interaction is getting a lot of traction right now online. We're told someone confronted the boys while they were selling candy bars outside of Bob Evans for a church fundraiser. Now, Logan Gay shows us how a community organizer is taking support to the next level.
What started as a hateful interaction in Brownsburg has brought out the best in people. Last week, people lined up outside of Rockstar Pizza in Brownsburg to buy candy from the two young men to show support for them and their church fundraiser. And now, after seeing the disturbing video, the CEO of local nonprofit, the Ross Foundation, is doing his part.
It reminded me of the times that I experienced those type of hatred, racial profiling towards me. I was like, I want to do what I wish I had. Is intervene and reach out and let them know that we care about you.
And that's exactly what D-Ross did, starting with investing money into the boys' vision.
And so I sold $1,000 to help them launch their business, their candy business / ministry. They're going to use candy to deliver people to Christ.
That's not all. He also gave each of them a pair of new shoes.
I decided to reward them for not reacting the way the narrative says you should react.
And Ross says this is proof that their future is bright.
DeJuan said he wanted to go to college, and Demarie said he wants to seek a trade. And so I want to invest in them to have some $500 scholarship each, where they can have something they could go into school or trade school.
And seeing the smiling faces in these pictures, he says is proof how far the community has come.
This is a perfect example of not combating hate with hate. Now they get to choose how they end their story.
And it's a beautiful one. In Indianapolis, Logan Gay, 13 News.